This is HM correspondent Erica Diggs for the Media Sanctuary, and today I'm speaking with David Banks. He is a visiting assistant professor for geography and planning at the University of Albany and a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. And he is going to tell us why it is important to defund the police, amongst other things. This is part two of a two-part segment. Once again, how are you doing today, David? And thanks for coming back.
Of course. Thank you so much. Doing great.
Of course. All right. So let's just get back into it. So why should the police stop wearing and showing their slogans on their uniform, hats, ties, berets, etc.?
Yeah. So the reason is very simple, right? That these are political slogans.
Yeah.
That is inappropriate for someone on the job that whose salary comes from taxpayer money. That's just that's evident and obvious in every other part, and it should be the case here. I mean, for example, like the Troy Police Department has a union and they can do stuff through their union, but like when they're on the job, it just doesn't seem appropriate.
Right. And do you feel like the union protects them a little bit more from, the backlash of their slogans?
The Police Benevolence Association, the PBA, is I would say more powerful in the city than the city council itself. I think they have more control over what happens in this city than our elected leaders do currently.
All right. So police only have to get 840 hours of basic law enforcement training. Why do you think that is? And what kind of training do you think is needed for effective policing?
Sure. I don't know specifically how much training the Troy Police Department gets, but I know that that a lot of their training and a lot of the stuff that they advertise in press releases is tactical training, right? It is evasive driving techniques with guns.
That's the average.
Okay. Yeah, what is definitely true about the Troy Police Department is that they they advertise stuff like that, like they won like marksmanship awards, regional awards and stuff like that, right? I think they advertised a little while ago that they won tactical week, and stuff like that, and and I think that's kind of kind of gross, considering that they've killed at least 2 black men in the city of Troy, in the last couple of years.
Yes.
And they almost killed Demick McDonald, right? Why they don't get a lot of training and why they don't get training in stuff like de-escalation is because they may say that that's their job, but it's kind of not. Like, their job is to protect property and what I would just describe as like white America, right? They protect things like that, and then they don't protect the full community.
Well, the police department did start on the slave catchers. So, it is embedded in racism,
It absolutely is.
So those rules need to be rewritten at the end.
Yes.
Okay. And where can people get in contact with you to receive more information?
We've created a website dedicated to this cause. It's called defundtroypd.org.
Mm-hmm.
There you'll find a list of our demands, any records that we receive through the FOIL process that we're working on, that will also be there. And you can also sign our petition to show that you support our efforts, and we'll make sure to keep in contact with you if you do.
Yes, but how can people get in contact with you? You know me, you have a lovely podcast. I'd love to plug you in, sir. Come on now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I also run a podcast called Ironweeds. You can find anywhere fine podcasts are syndicated. And Troy also is on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find us all there. And that's towards the end of the year, we're going to be running a pretty big media campaign around all of these issues. So definitely follow the Troy DSA on Instagram and Twitter, and you'll see all of this there.
Okay, and do you have any events coming up that the public should know about?
We'll be out in the streets doing tenant organizing, anti-police brutality. But right now, there's, we want to be very careful about coronavirus.
Yes.
So, just, follow us on social media. You can email us at troydsa@capitaldistrictdsa.org. I know it's a mouthful. Or DM us on any of the social media platforms. And you can keep in touch with us, and we'll let you know when something goes down.
Okay, and do you have any final words for my listeners?
Yeah, if anyone is listening to this and thinking like the important thing is safety, and defunding the police, it doesn't feel safe. I would say I that's completely understandable.
It's scary.
And it is of course scary. The problem though is that we've tried this over and over and over and over again. Why things are scary right now, and we have to do something different. And different is scary, but hopefully it gets us to the better world we deserve.
Definitely. All right. Well, listen, I just want to thank you so much, Mr. David Banks, for coming on my show and, telling us how we can have more effective policing and defund the police without fearing for our lives. And I know it's going to be a hard road to come by, but we have to take it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Well, this has been Talk with Dulcie, and I spoke with David Banks from the University of Albany. He is an assistant professor for geography and planning and a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.